October 7th, 2025. The deep thought of the day today, it occurred while I was driving driving back from my storage unit where I keep my gear. I had to get some gear ready for some shooting. I did some filming today. And when I was driving back from the unit, it's very close to a burger place called Smash Burger that I really enjoy. Not only for the burgers, but they have incredibly delicious shakes. And in my recent sort of dedication to get my health in better order, I have often sort of ignored that personal mandate when I go to the storage unit because Smash Burgers and their shakes are so good. Today, I was driving back, and when I was at the stoplight where I could make that decision to turn over there, I had this thought, which will be my deep thought of the day. If you are trying to change a bad habit, fighting even the smaller impulses is important, maybe critical to establishing a better habit. I guess in that moment I thought of it as a smaller impulse because I've been doing pretty well lately at sort of ignoring the desire a little bit to just dive in on the not so healthy foods. But I think the comment about if you're trying to change a bad habit, fighting even the smaller impulses is important. That is the sort of inverse of the generally conventional logic of don't sweat the small stuff. In this case, I believe sweating the small stuff is absolutely important. Obviously, don't sweat the small stuff applies in certain context where that, I believe, is a good manner of operation. But in this case, I think because the smaller impulses lead to bigger ones, paying attention to them when you are trying to make changes in your life, that is extremely important. I think more often than not, the smaller impulses are essentially ignored because they're almost imperceptible. And then we kind of find ourselves in the middle of an act of hamburger eating and shake drinking that we kind of don't realize how we got there. And I think really deciding to pay attention to that urge, in my case, I could almost feel my taste, my tongue start getting, anticipation kind of lurking, like your mouth starts to, cravings start to fire up. You go, oh yeah, I really would want to eat something like that right now. But I guess being aware and just deciding, no, I need to head back. I feel like that was a small victory today. So I guess the call to action is try to be aware of what the small impulses are first, so that you can at least make those decisions to kind of nip it in the bud before any larger, more regrettable decisions are made. All right, the day was a little different today, so that was good. I got up, got cracking on my programming stuff again. This time I was moving a little more decisively in a sense, which was good. Then I decided to do my afternoon walk way earlier, just maybe around 1:30 or something. I'm kind of wheeling back the timing here, back to sort of when I started, which is good. And instead of a walk, I decided to do a run. I have not run in many years. I did play some basketball last year, so I guess that's some running, year and a half ago about. But I pulled a hamstring when I did that. First time playing basketball in like 5 or 6 years. Pulled a hamstring. Anyway, yeah. So I thought, well, I've been walking 5.5 miles almost, 4.5 to 5.5, kind of on average lately. What's a little jog, I mean, when I say run, it was really just a jog, not very fast. And man, I've never felt so much pain. Not that it was like utter actual pain, but it's just never been so hard. I've never had such challenge just jogging. Two factors that I have not encountered, I think, before. The main factor, I'm quite a bit heavier than the last time I really did any running, I think, which was 7 years ago-ish, 6.5, 7 years ago. I played basketball pretty regularly for which means once a week or twice a week sometimes. For years I did that. And that's a different kind of running. That's just kind of start and stop stuff. But the last time I trained for long distance type stuff, I want to say that was 2007. So it's been like 18 years. Whew. And I felt fine then. I don't feel so good now. I was quite a bit lighter. So I think I probably weighed 170-ish, maybe 165. Yeah, 165 to 170 probably when I did all that stuff. Now I'm right around 200, so plus 30 to 35 pounds. That's noticeable. My body definitely notices it. And, age, which you just don't feel the effects. I haven't felt the effects until today because in most other ways, like I do well in arm wrestling, I do whatever other sports, disc golf, that kind of thing. None of that is aerobic really. So, wow, aging is real. The other main factor that I think made this a challenge was the much lighter air of Utah. I grew up in Washington, and I've normally spent most of my time essentially at sea level or barely above. Now around here, I think it's 4,000-ish feet or so, maybe higher, 4,500. Holy moly! Walking around, I don't notice that, but running, whoa, I was short of breath, which I suppose is probably both age and elevation. Either way, wow. I've got a lot of adapting to do before I am functionally capable of jogging, let alone or running around here. But I'm going to keep it up. Although tomorrow I'm going to do a walk. It was suggested to me that probably easing into jogging / running, it's best to do walking for a little bit of time and then running and kind of stagger it. Walk for a little while, run for a little while, walk for a little while, run for a little while, and do that until you kind of build up your running physicality, your running fitness, I guess would be the better term. So, yeah, big challenge. I feel good for doing it, but man, it was challenging. So, yeah. After my run, I got a call for some work. I went and that's when I went to the storage unit to get my camera gear prepped. And then I had and did some work at the Dreamwalk Park. I did film a little bit of video, but I'm not sure. It's for a new section. I guess I can't really, it's not public yet, so I probably can't put that in this video. And maybe I'll remember to put it in later when it becomes public, if it does. Well, it will, but if I remember, I'll try to put it in a future video. After I got back from doing the filming there, I got back onto my programming, made some pretty good strides. I think things are really coming together. And now I'm going to bed at 2. That's my normal time. That's kind of when I feel normal. But I actually started to feel a little zonked earlier, like 12:30. And was just making such good progress on the app that I didn't want to put it away yet. But now I'm in that spot. I'm going to crash out. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it, y'all. I can't think of anything else. I guess that's everything. Until next time, take it easy.